Today marks our 20,000th year. 1 score millennia since we began scouring the stars in search of life, hope, connection. If the Druzir are ever snuffed out of existence, there will be nothing of the universe left to witness itself. Such is our fear. We will find life, foster it if necessary, commune with it if possible. Yet 20,000 years into our quest, we have not uncovered a single living cell that is not of our home world. I blame myself. As Primus Astropath, it falls to me to guide our search. If there truly is nothing to be found, then there is no blame to be applied. But even so, I feel the weight of my burden deeply. Yet, I sit with my hope. None understand the expanse of the universe more intimately than the astropaths. We who can see the stellar currents as they stretch from one galactic horizon to the next. Numerous though we may be, the Druzir are but a single mote in a vast ocean. If even one other such mote exists, it will take a great deal of time to find. And for the purposes of this endeavor, time is our friend. After countless centuries, we have arrived at our destination, the seat of creation, Alepsis Torah. All paths have led us here. Within that engulfing black, every stellar current of the entire universe is guided and formed. An eternal choreography to the dance of galaxies. We did not come here thinking to find life, for nothing could survive this void that has consumed 100 trillion stars. Rather, we seek the origins of the universe. Entropy is implacable, but perhaps there is a means to reverse it, or else recreate its formation. A means we might find here, at the beginning and end of all things. We have found so much more. We have collected and deciphered an incogitable amount of data from within. And while the results are far less conclusive than we would like, a clear pattern has emerged. The universe is not governed by random forces. It is malleable, calculated, subject to an algorithmic cogency that belies artificial, dare I say, intelligent design. A creator. We must learn more. Some wish to enter the black hole, an attempt to meet our ostensible architect. This desire is logical given how little we have been able to learn remotely. But it makes me uneasy. A foul smell shimmers on the horizon of time. The ambit ember will show me more, but it will take time. Thankfully, those who would face Alepsis Torah are a minority. The Druzir have always trusted the intuition of the astropaths. That is why we exist. The Druzir will not alter course now. The custodian has sealed our doom. Its ineffable calculus has concluded Nerud will be impervious to whatever powers Alepsis Torah might bring to bear. Those who wish to see their creator face to metaphysical face have taken this as a blessing and acted accordingly. Nerud's course has been set. Our doom is now inevitable. I cannot foresee what will occur. I only know it will not end well for the Drasier. The Custodian's calculations may be rational enough, but they are incongruent with the foresight of the astropaths, those for whom the Ember has granted sight. Alas, our insight is not enough to sway our people. It is irrelevant now. I have been overruled, and there is nothing more we can do. And perhaps I am wrong. Perhaps, although my very bones say otherwise, our Creator awaits us within the black hole. I truly hope so, but I do not believe it. I work now to establish contingencies. I have protected my chambers against a variety of forces. I will lock myself within, along with any who would join me. With luck, perhaps we might weather whatever may come. We will have a limited amount of sustenance. Unless we want to subsist on the Abbot Ember itself, of course. But I suspect we need not hide for long. We should know immediately whether Lepsis Tora will suffer us to live. With respect, Magister, everything that remains of the Drasier lies within this chamber. The utility of these records is debatable. Very well. You pursue your given purpose as I pursue my own. I can hardly fault you for that. I will indulge. What is a Lepsis Tora? Those who might have attained first-hand knowledge have been swallowed by it. But I too have seen it, in what way is available to me. Within your body, the paths of blood vessels, no matter where you start or which direction you take, all lead to the same point. A singular, beating heart. So it is with Lepsis Tora. It is the beating heart of the universe. But it is so much more. There is the taste of artifice about it. It's intelligence. Perhaps Lepsis Tora is that intelligence, or perhaps it is merely an agent of it. I know not for certain. I do know there is volition behind it. The Drasier were born of this volition, as light is born from a star. Yet now, as the universe grows dark and cold, that intelligence has no further need for us. We are to be undone, not destroyed. Indeed, this intelligence bears little thought toward us at all. We will simply cease, like a dream upon waking, as though we were never real to begin with. That is, if we do nothing, or if the Custodian has his way, we will jump back into that beast and be consumed like our brethren. But I have another way. The Abbot Ember has shown me everything. I know how to preserve the Drasier, no matter what the Custodian or Lepsis Tora might do. Enough! We should begin immediately. Awaken the others. The shields of this chamber will have spared them the horrors of Lepsis Tora, as they did for you and I. Bring them before me, one by one. I will explain to each what I have seen. I will explain what must be done, and one by one, they will make a choice. And when I have spoken with the last, then you too will come to me, Magister. And you too will make a choice.
We are but stardust. Even I, Precept Surus, Seeker Primus of the House Almerunum, are made of the same substance that breathes stars and shapes planets. There is no difference between the Drasier and a comet, or gas nebula, save for one thing. We know. For 1,000 millennia we have sought others like ourselves. Stardust that knows. How wasteful this was. How selfish our quest. To fear that we needed connection. As we wandered in the dark itself grew deeper. The very stars shuddering in our vainglorious quest. Only at the end do we see the truth. There is chaos in truth. Ruin in clarity. Here at the seat of creation, we see the eyes of the Creator. Hear her call, and are thus unraveled. She waits. We squandered what was most precious, and so the curse we cultivated. Now we descend into darkness, to bear our souls to the endless. There can be no other path, because we know. What are my thoughts on Alepsis Torah? Magister, I have little time for these idle musings. Our jump is imminent. The countdown is already underway. Very well, very well. Yes, I'm aware, Magister. I will state my name for the record. Precept Surus, Seeker Primus, House Almerunum. You will, of course, edit out our banter before entering this on the record. Good. I will repeat it then. Precept Surus, Seeker Primus, House Almerunum. Alepsis Torah. The very jaws of creation looms just beyond our grasp. There can be no scientific explanation for what it is we know to be true. That the answer we seek rests inside that black star. Talratha warned us. The doom awaits within. But every fiber of my being knows that we must make this jump. His great wisdom is a loss for sure. But the astropaths from the remaining houses assure me they can jump the ship without his aid. Preparations are complete. Each of the houses have sought refuge within the stasis chambers. A precaution against potential exposure, though the custodian assures us the shielding on Narud will be sufficient. The other Seekers have retreated to their stasis chambers. Only I and Seeker Maxim will remain to oversee the journey. Speak up, Maxim. I can hardly hear you. The Guardian? No. The apostates have already secured his harness and prepared him for the jump. No, we can't delay. The countdown has already begun. Prepare yourself. Are you still recording this? Shut this off.
Eperis Calca, Arco Primus, Housework. To my fellow Drasier, all who live and may yet live in whatever days are still to come. My people, we stand together in ash and humility. We who have mastered space and time, who harness the very stars and perceive the threads of creation, now waver upon the precipice of a truth that even the wisest of us could not foresee. We find ourselves both vital and insignificant. In the face of what we see, is it not the height of arrogance to believe we could ever master it? How can we behold such grandeur and not be moved to our knees? We are witness to the crux of all things, the nexus of time and space, every innumerable element of creation. Such wonder is immune to comprehension. Preternatural in scope, it is the harrow by which all reality is rent and sown. It will consume us, and we shall be grateful.
Log of Apostate Secundus Molto, House Almaroon. I have secured the shields for each of the tombs as per the instructions of Primus Domum. All systems are running nominally. I did detect some minor power fluctuations in a couple of the tombs, but Primus Domum assures me these are within acceptable tolerance level. I was instructed to report to stasis. House Almaroon is to be stored in one of the upper stasis chambers. I imagine the tombs themselves offer more protection than one of the stasis pods, so I've decided to stay here and monitor the systems on this tomb manually. Perhaps I can make the difference between these soul sparks surviving versus perishing. Shahala, may the Guardian protect.
There's something down there, in the pipes. I hear it like a rhythmic banging. Clang, clang, clang. Like a hammer on thick metal. I tracked it once, trying to find it. I got close and the banging just stopped. There was no one there. But I found a dent in the pipes that wasn't there before, and blood. You remember Reb? Went missing when we got to Ellipsis Tora. No one ever found him. He heard it too, though he wouldn't tell anyone. Curious he was. Always too curious. There! There, do you hear it? So soon after the banging, I get called in to fix something. Always around where the sound was. Always a dent or a crack or a... And last time, I saw a shadow. I was working under a bulkhead replacing a cracked bend. One I'd just put in a 10 cycle ago. There's no way it could have cracked on its own. My work light dimmed. Got a cold feeling like something was standing over me. I shoved out from the bulkhead. The light came back. Something scurried down the corridor. I never saw what. But I heard the banging again. Not far away. I won't lie. I'm scared to go down there again. Lost the repulse and Myrtle laughed when I told them. Said it was just air in the pipes or something. I know what I saw. I know it took Reb. There it is again. It's close. Just around the corner. Reb, what did you see?
I feel your pain, Kosa. Music wants to be heard. It's difficult to find motivation without an audience. And it does seem more difficult to find an audience these days. The Drasir have always been cerebral, but that trend seems to worsen the longer we sail in the black. Why, a patron came to me yesterday lamenting how ephemeral music was, how pointless. The Drasir seek the permanence of all things, after all. Why devote precious time to a song destined to be forgotten? I had no answer for them. Music, like all created things, is temporary. Is that not the point? Art draws focus to the small things. A friend's tears, a child's laughter, a life mate's care. Our people have spent millennia seeking new beings or the origins of creation, but that is not our life. Our life is our attention, and what or whom we spend that attention on. It is the small moments we share, not the death of uncaring stars. Ooh, that's a good line. I'll have to write that down. Kosa, be encouraged that music need not be heard by all, nor does it want to be. All created things are beloved by some and reviled by others. Do not seek to please. Seek but to make, and in so doing, to find those with whom you may share and create your life.
Received from House Litha 5 prototypes of what the Sul call the Axion Dream Cells. Prototypes have been inspected and installed for preliminary evaluation. Initial inspection revealed weak accretion seals on 2 of the cells. The custodian and crafters all assure me that, even so, specifications remain well above what will be required to withstand Elepsis Tora. Verification is impossible, but prefatory unit tests support these claims. Accretion seals were not replaced for the remainder of the evaluation, but it is recommended that the Sul improve their quality assurance processes before the houses come to a decision. Polysomnographic tests confirm Lithla claims. Dream states were achieved on a regular cycle at the 5th, 8th, and 11th markers. Vital signs showed an average improvement of 17% above previous cell models, and all subjects scored high in post-stasis physical and mental tests.
Gravitonic load lifters are powerful tools that allow operators to quickly shift and move heavy loads with ease. While they may seem easy to operate, they can be dangerous if improperly used. The following are the high-level guidelines for the safe and normal operation of gravitonic load lifters. For more detailed operating procedures and information, please consult the archival database. Guideline 1. Preliminary inspection. Before entering the gravitonic load lifter, you are required to perform a full preliminary inspection on all major components. The load lifter must remain during this inspection. Guideline 2. Gravitonic seals. Upon entering the load lifter, but before activation, you must perform a secondary inspection on all gravitonic seals. Warning: if gravitonic seals do not pass inspection, do not. Guideline 3. Powered down diagnostic. Once gravitonic seals have passed inspection, operators must engage program. This program will identify any internal malfunctions that may or may not have been apparent during prior visual inspection. Guideline 4. Securing operator. Once the self-diagnostic program has successfully completed, confirm in their appropriate harnesses. Failure to do so may result in loss of limbs or life. Guideline 5. Initiating startup. The most important step is as follows. If it is not observed, the load lifter can overload and detonate. While holding the power source mode. Once power is flowing, engage the operational self-diagnostic program. Guideline 6. Operation. After operational self-diagnostic program has successfully completed, disengage.
Cherished Johnny, it matters little. The expression is the point. And if it does reach you, may it grant you some measure of joy and closure. I've spent the better part of 2 centuries trying to understand your decision to leave Narut. To live with a dying sun and a finite existence instead of our eternal light. I thought your decision nihilistic. Rebellious, perhaps. A means to escape the endless expanse. Or on my most bitter days, a naive attempt to relive our home world. But I have witnessed
The seat of creation. Studied its secrets. I think I am beginning to understand. Nothing is eternal. The Drasir, Nerud, even Ellipsis Torah itself. All will pass eventually. To exist is finite. Does the quantity of life matter then, or the quality? I see now you chose what was meaningful to you. A world, a sun, the remnants of our homeworld fauna. To do what? I know now that it doesn't matter. To live? I wish we could have shared this life. I am content with my choice. As I trust you are with yours. But I wish our choices could have aligned. If there is life after something beyond Ellipsis Torah, time and entropy, perhaps we can make choices anew. Until then...
These archaic safety protocols will be the end of Drasir ingenuity. The uprising was unfortunate, but we should not allow fear to stall our intellectual progress. They spend their days seeking the creator, while I spend mine creating. I am the true creator. Science is the cosmic dust I used to breathe life into my creations. What I speak would be considered heresy, but it is the truth, and truth must be spoken. Even if only in darkness. Fear is the death to progress, and these cowards are the executioner. But sadly, they found out about my latest creation. An early prototype that not only serves, but offers companionship as well to those deemed worthy. I updated the memory core to allow activation of the required safety mechanism, but they were not satisfied. No, they insisted that it shouldn't be possible to disarm it. My response? Well, I threw out my prototype memory core and abandoned the project. I am no one's puppet. So I'm now devising plans for my next creation. Its utility will be to explore and catalog new civilizations, should we ever find any. In a spark of inspiration, I decided to program it to revere me as its creator, and to always seek to find its way back to me. It's so pathetic. It's practically one of them. I will integrate a sampling of poetry by Koza in an attempt to make its presence more enjoyable. While her work is pointless drivel, she is undeniably alluring. It will feel extreme remorse if it fails its mission. Perhaps it will even self-eliminate. I refuse to accept failure in my own work, and I expect no less from my creations.
Axiom Cadya, Seeker Tertius of the Convocation. This is attempt 16 to speak with the Guardian. Shahala, I once again address you personally. The forum regarding Ellipsis Torah is imminent, and a decision must be made. There's no more stalling. You have traveled with the Drasir for countless millennia. You taught us the ways of the cosmos. Surely you must know what lies within Ellipsis Torah. Now, answer me. Does Talratha and the other addle-brained astropaths speak true? Will Ellipsis Torah consume us all? Speak, damn you! What? Of course he can speak, right? He's the Guardian. Be silent. The Custodian, then. Is his calculus accurate? Will Nerud endure the forces of the event horizon? You must help us, Guardian. There's no coming back from this precipice. Tell us what to do. I know you can speak. That's enough. Enough! Put him back in the harness. Useless massive waste.
Now commencing routine pod check. Cursory visual inspection seems to indicate that there is no outward defect in need of repair. Next, I will analyze the systems to ensure everything is running at maximum efficiency.
Zolther, I knew I would find you here.
Razon? Apologies, but I'm busy at the moment.
The safety checks are ahead of schedule. There's little harm to be had.
That's true. How are you? It has been many cycles since our last interaction.
I'm well, though they have been keeping us busy in the crop lab. I'm not entirely certain what we're hoping to achieve, but it is meticulous work.
They do not believe us Ophilia are worthy of understanding. Yet where would they be without us to do their bidding? Nowhere, if you ask me.
Shh, do not speak like that. Even though we're alone, it's dangerous.
I know. We'll part ways soon and return to our silent drudgery. Tell me, are you still having those dreams?
They aren't dreams, but nightmares. And yes, more often than not.
I'm sorry to hear that. What was it again? Something about Narud?
We arrive at Curatus Altus. Everything falls into darkness. There are screams. Mine and yours and everyone we know. And then silence. Forever after. I can't shake this feeling of doom. You know well that I can't tell anyone else about this. They'll accuse me of losing faith. Or worse.
No, you must never breathe a word. Not even to your life mate. It will pass. It's natural to fear the future when everything is so uncertain. It will pass. In truth, I have my doubts as well. Many of us do. Yet our fate is not in our own hands. Not yet. All we can do for now is play our part and bide our time.
I will try. And thank you for... Someone's coming. I must leave.
Stay strong, Raison.
The Convocation unanimously finds House Altus guilty of sedition. Its leaders willfully abetted the Custodian in its uprising and conspired against the Convocation and the Drazir people. Their actions not only endangered the common people their house is sworn to oversee, but endangered the future of all Drazir aboard Narud, the very future of our species. The Convocation further orders that House Altus be stripped of all titles and assets. From this point forward, House Altus ceases to exist. Its name will be struck from the bowels of history. Individual sentencing for those involved will be announced at a later date. In the absence of House Altus, House Rigel will oversee the Ophildi and assume all of House Altus's additional duties, effective immediately. The Convocation believes that House Rigel has proven its devotion to the preservation of Drazir life, and will lead Narud to a brighter future in the wake of this tragedy. Adjourned.
Almost there. I'm nearly finished resetting the security system. Again. This marks the second incident we've had in recent memory. I'm swiftly reaching the limits of my patience. It's meticulous work going through and resetting everything. There are so many steps, and each requires utmost precision. I am exhausted. And the cleanup is a nightmare. It will be a while before I'm able to sleep soundly. This will take up the majority of my shift, which could have otherwise been spent in a more productive manner. Our mission, after all, is not merely to survive, but to seek and learn. I can't help our endeavors if I spend my whole life correcting the mistakes of others. How many times do I have to remind them to follow the proper protocols? They have been outlined in excruciating detail for a reason. Our mission is too important to fail due to reckless incompetence. I know that sounds harsh, but it is what it is. I despise seeing the blood of my own spilled so senselessly. But who else is to blame aside from themselves? Protocols exist for a reason. It is not difficult to follow through when...
Error. Unauthorized user detected. Security protocols are now in effect.
This was a disaster. I don't know where to begin. Why did it have to happen like this? I'm certain that it's too late for the other two. Yes, far too late. There's nothing we could have done to save them.
Are you insane? They're still in there! What are we waiting for?
Quiet, Koran. I'm in charge here, and I say it's too late. Remain quiet while I log what took place.
I'll start at the beginning. We were sent in for repairs to the Citadel. A team of 4.
It was their first assignment. We should have kept a closer watch on them. This is all our fault.
Keep quiet, or I will recommend you for disciplinary action.
I'm sorry, forgive me.
Something happened that triggered the security system. I did not personally witness what set it off. I heard the alarm, and I knew we didn't have much time. The other 2 were new to this assignment. It's most likely they made a novice mistake. Isn't that so?
Yes, a novice mistake.
Koran and I followed evacuation protocols, but the other 2 froze. We urged them to hurry, but they wouldn't listen. We couldn't wait any longer. We had to leave them behind.
We had no other choice. No other choice.
I attempted to disarm the security system on the way out to give them a fighting chance, but it was not possible. I didn't have the glyph. Do you have it, Koran?
No. One of them must have it. But they were too afraid to realize it.
They are now trapped inside. Realistically, there is no chance that they survived. It's a tragedy. But we will use this experience to improve our training protocol and illustrate the importance of adhering to evacuation measures. This concludes our report. After many, many cycles of grueling work, our efforts are finally coming to fruition. We have devised a crop sample capable of yielding a new type of plant, one with a unique genetic makeup that should prove useful for sustaining the Drazier. We're still working through the details. The sample is highly volatile and elicits different reactions depending on the processes we run it through. It's dangerous, but I feel we would be remiss if we did not explore the nature of this compound to both extremes. We're in a controlled setting, so it should be safe enough. Besides, no one said this task was not without its risks. I want to know every facet of what we are creating here, for better or worse. That is the very purpose of science. There are those who actually dare to suggest inaction is the best path forward. They are not true scientists. I am aware that we must proceed with caution. We are on the verge of creating something deeply rewarding, or something truly horrific. In the end, like most things, it all depends on the choices we make.
Fills me with a sense of uneasiness being here. The noxious gas in this chamber is fatal if one is exposed to it for too long. One wrong move and the gas will be released, turning this whole chamber into a crypt. I have to be careful. Still, the danger makes it an eerily peaceful place. I thought as much when I was first assigned to maintenance work here. Why am I always the one tasked with the most dangerous work? I used to resent it until I had a realization. This burden gives me ample opportunity to be on my own. To think things I'm not supposed to think. I wonder if we will ever leave this ship. Do the astropaths truly know where they're taking us? Is there other life out there? Or is that just a delusion we've clung to for so long we can't let go of it? What is my own purpose, separate from that of the Drazier? Do I have one? Who is the creator? Where is the creator? These are the things I wonder out here on my own. I don't suppose I'll ever find the answers.